Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Spooky Sunday video. So in today's video we are going to be doing unsolved mysteries that will keep you up at night. I saw this and I was like, okay, I need to do this video. I need to read these unsolved mysteries and I need to speak to all of you about them because maybe you have some ideas on these mysteries, and also, will they really keep us up at night? We shall see. But without further ado, let's get into today's video and I hope you all like it. Okay, so I'm going to read the little intro thing, and it says, the greatest unsolved mysteries of the world can almost sound like blockbuster movie plots. Secret treasure hunts, museum heists, and giant magnets in space are just a few of the unsolved cases that give us goosebumps. If you're looking for weird incidents that don't make sense to keep you up at night, look no further. From internet sleuths to history buffs, these head-scratching unsolved mysteries have left many frustrated, still searching for answers even centuries later. Buckle your seatbelt and get ready for some of the strangest cases in human history, including a mysterious fog that made half the world dark for over a year in the 6th century, a murderer who secretly lived with the family he killed for 6 months, a missing boy who was returned to the wrong mother, and a pit of money left by pirates that supposedly curses anyone who tries to find it. If you're the type of person who lies awake at night wondering what the heck happened to Amelia Earhart, we've got plenty of rabbit holes for you to fall down. That is a good intro. Usually the intros for these things aren't the best, but that was a good one. Whoever wrote that one, you did good on that intro. Anyway, let's get into the first one. So it says, the unknown culprit behind the khlokoyt slayings may have been living in their victim's home. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I think it's khlokoyt. That's how it's spelled, so that's how I'm going to say it. I apologize in advance if it's wrong. It says, on March 31st, 1922, 6 people were murdered at the Untitled Bavarian homestead in Germany. This included the 5 members of the Gruber family: Andreas, his wife Kazelia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and her 2 children, Kazelia and Joseph, as well as their maid Maria. A week later, Andreas had noticed footprints leading towards the farm from the woods, but there were no returning prints. Prior to this, Andreas had been complaining to friends and neighbours for months about hearing creaking and footsteps in the attic, as well as finding a newspaper in his home that he hadn't purchased. He also revealed that the keys to his tool shed had gone missing, which happened to be the place his pickaxe, which eventually became the murder weapon, was stored. Months prior to the slaying, the Gruber's previous maid had quit, claiming the house was haunted by ghosts after hearing mysterious voices and footsteps. Not until April 4th, after young Kazelia was absent from school and the mailman reported the mail piling up, were the police told to check on the Khlo farm. Investigators interviewed over 100 suspects, some as recently as 1986, and eventually came to the conclusion that the culprit was likely living in their house for at least 6 months prior to the killings. There was never enough conclusive evidence to close the case, so almost a century later it remains unsolved. Perhaps even more unsettling is the fact that livestock was still being fed and neighbours saw smoke coming from the chimney between March 31st and April 4th, indicating that the culprit remained in the house for a few days after they did away with the family. So I remember hearing about this case on true crime channels, and I still to this day have no idea who might have done it. I do think it's crazy that someone literally lived in the house, but the maid must have heard them and she thought it was ghosts, but obviously it was a whole ass human fucking being. It confuses me why they didn't just go up and look. There was so much reason to go up and look, or if you were scared to call the police, get them to go up and look and just get the person out the house straight away. What confuses me is I don't know why the person killed them. Maybe they did go up and look eventually and the person ambushed them and killed them. The fact that there was a whole family, they could have taken this person out, but when you're scared you don't really think like that. Even though one person realistically could easily be taken down by the family, they're just scared. So they don't have the mindset to like fight this person off, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that's making sense. Maybe they tried to see who was up there and then that person ambushed them and attacked them and killed them. Maybe their intention wasn't to hurt anybody really, they just wanted to live up there, but then they got found out and then they attacked and killed them, and then tried to stay in the house a few days afterwards but thought that they couldn't live there because they couldn't live with themselves, if you know what I mean. That's the kind of mindset I'm thinking may have been going on. Either way, it doesn't make it right. Obviously this person's a murderer and deserves to be in jail, and this family deserves justice. So I hope one day they find out who it actually was, even if it's through some sort of DNA. Like surely there must have been DNA DNA left in that attic if that person had been living there for 6 months. But then I don't know if in 1922 they would have fought to take DNA, because the thought of ever being able to solve cases through DNA would have been such a far-fetched idea. So maybe they just didn't have any DNA collected at all, whether that's hair strands or anything like that, or pieces of clothing or whatever. So maybe it'll just never be solved, but hopefully one day it will be. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, so drop them in the comments. Okay, this one says the skeleton of an unidentified woman was found stuffed in a tree in 1943. In 1943, 4 teenage boys found a woman's body stuffed in a tree in the Hagley Woods in Worcestershire, England. During World War II, food rations were tight and the boys were out hunting in the hopes of finding some game to supplement their family's diet. One climbed a wych elm, named for its spooky appearance, in the hopes of finding a bird's nest, but discovered something far more sinister instead. A woman's skeleton had been stuffed into the centre of the tree. The boy quickly realised the remains were human by the pieces of hair still attached to the skull. 17-year-old Tom Willett alerted the authorities, the incident weighing heavily on him. Once the body was located, Professor James Webster served as the medical examiner, estimating the woman to be 35 years old and only 5 feet tall. There were rags of clothing on her bones and fabric stuffed in her mouth, leading him to believe that she may have been suffocated. He also noted that it was likely that she had at one time given birth and had been deceased for around 18 months when she was found. Stranger still, her hand was missing, and the bones were later discovered to be scattered around the tree. Webster concluded that the woman was murdered, since the way her body was stored indicated that it could not have been an accident or suicide. He also concluded that the body was put in the tree before rigor mortis caused the body to stiffen, indicating that the murder happened close to where the skeleton was found. In the investigation that followed, police contacted every local dentist hoping to find dental records that matched the body, along with digging through missing person reports. The mysterious case went cold until 6 months later, when graffiti began to appear next to the tree. The first chalk writing read, "Who put Bella down the wych elm?" This led investigators to name their Jane Doe Bella. More and more chalk graffiti appeared with similar sentiments, making it unclear whether they were clues or taunts. Anthropology professor Margaret Murray hypothesizes, I struggle with that word, that Bella was a victim of an occult ritual. The way her hand was severed from her body appeared similar to a ritual called the Hand of Glory. Another theory was that Bella could have been a German spy captured and slain by UK soldiers. Bella's identity and the reason for her demise remain a mystery. This is another story that I again have seen on true crime YouTube, true crime TikTok, and I have absolutely no theories on it. I have no idea what may have happened to her. I do think it's really creepy, and maybe the occult theory is probably the strongest one, but I just don't know why they would do that. I have absolutely no theories, but I would love to know what you think, because I know a lot of people do have theories on this. So if you have any, drop them in the comments down below, and then we can all discuss about it and see what everyone's thinking. Okay, this is the last one that I'm gonna do because this video is getting a little bit long, but if you want a part 2, let me know, because there's so many unsolved mysteries on this list and I could do a part 2 for you. But this one says the author of The Secret, a treasure hunt, passed before his riddles were solved. In 1982, Byron Priest published The Secret, a treasure hunt, a book of 12 mind-bending riddles and paintings by fantasy artist John Jude Palencar. Each riddle is paired with a painting to reveal a location in a North American city. Once the treasure hunter finds the location, they will find a bejeweled box buried 3.5 feet under the ground with a key inside. The key can be exchanged for a jewel, collectively worth about $10,000. In 1983, the first of the jewels was found by 3 teenagers in Chicago, who paired the 5th image with the 12th verse, where M and B are set in stone, and to Congress R is known. Al sits and left, beyond his shoulder, is the fair folks treasure holder. The end of 10 by 13 is your clue. Fence and fixture central too. For finding jewel cask, seek the sounds of rumble, brush, and music hush. Hidden in the image was a backwards outline of the state of Illinois, as well as several Chicago landmarks like the Water Tower. An image of a bowman pointed to a statue near Grant Park, while where the owl sits referred to a statue of Abraham Lincoln within the park. The treasure hunters used 2 intersecting lines of trees to locate a spot under a section of fence. The fence is also hidden within the image. Where the treasure was hidden, one of the teens, Eric, wrote up an explanation of how they managed to solve the complex riddle. Full solution can also be found here. So there's a link there if you want to read it. While many believe they have identified the cities each treasure is located in, only 3 of the 12 riddles have been solved. Treasure hunters all over the country continue the search, even though Byron Priest has passed in 2005, taking the secret locations of the remaining gems to his grave. That is so interesting. So we're kind of finishing on a less spooky one and a more interesting one. I feel like the more people that find out about that, the more people are going to go and try and find these jewels. I thought that one was going to be the pirate one, because it was about jewels and stuff. And if they were worth $10,000 back then, the jewels might be worth way more now, because obviously money gets more valuable as time goes on. So maybe people find them jewels, they'll make a lot of money. But if you didn't finish the riddles, that means that the unfinished riddles may never be found, unless you just randomly came across it. You never know, people might just randomly come across it without even solving any riddles, but we'll see. I'm sure if loads of people started to find that, it would be more in the news, so hopefully we'll find out about it if people start to find them. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I hope you all liked it. Like I said, if you want me to do a part 2, let me know. I can do a part 2. There's so many stories on there that I can do. But if you liked today's video, please remember to smash a massive thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, I will see you all soon. Peace.